Michael Griggs, and welcome back to Griggs Talks, where we talk all things sports. And welcome back to another match reaction. Manchester United beat Luton Town away at Kenilworth Road. Status says top four is on. I'm not gonna put that in the title today. I'm not gonna lie because that performance pissed me off. That second half was annoying as hell. But yeah, United got another big 3 points. Obviously, it was very important after Spurs dropped points yesterday against Wolves. They lost, so the 3 points were a must today, and we did get the 3 points no matter what. But after an incredible start, those first 10 minutes were electric. Everything looked so great. The other 80 minutes of that match, especially in the first half, the other 35 minutes of that first half, if there's anything to say about anti-football, that's what the definition of anti-football is. The first 10 minutes were electric. That was Man United at its best. Electric on the counterattack, capitalizing on the second ball, Hojlund rounding the keeper, the second goal, which we'll talk about. But the other things, after that, the passing, the tackling, the intensity, everything was just off. And Luton capitalized on it with their first goal, and they weren't able to score again. But we were under the cosh for a good part of that game, and we let them have the ball much more than we should have. But that's life under Eric Ten Hag, right? That's pretty much what's to expect these days. But yeah, top four is on. I mean, it's still on, to be fair. My boy Zeke's. Yeah, top four is still on. Obviously, I'm getting a little bit more and more confidence because we're still getting the points. And I've always said this: Man United know how to get wins when they don't deserve to. Today, we did deserve to win based on like the fact that we should have scored about 3-4 more goals, and we had the better opportunities than Luton. But we made that game nervous and uncomfortable for no reason. Like Man United might give me high blood pressure one day. We're nearing that stage. Bruno Fernandes. We'll talk about performances and all the specific players, but just I don't understand what the purpose of today. Some of the things that were happening today, but in terms of the lineup for the game, I expected it. Same lineup as last week. Luke Shaw was maybe the only surprise because I didn't know if he's going to be fit. Apparently, he passed fitness, but we saw he got subbed off at halftime that he really wasn't fit, and Eric Ten Hag rushed him back. And the discussion on Luke Shaw is obviously people are tired of the injury, and I get it. He's very injury prone, right? But this season specifically, I'm not going to blame Luke Shaw because, first of all, Eric Ten Hag's system is causing a lot of muscle injuries. It's not just Luke Shaw getting muscle injuries. A lot of players are getting muscle injuries. And at that point, you got to start looking at the coach and your training methods, the system, all that kind of stuff. All that plays an influence. Luke Shaw was out for 3 months, right? He comes back in November, I believe. He plays 590s in a row. 590s. 590s. That's 450 minutes without a rest. Playing twice a week because we're still in Europe at that time. That's a lot of minutes on a player that's already injury prone, that has had a lot of muscle injury throughout his career, and you make him play that many minutes because you're that desperate, he's going to get injured again. And guess what happened? He did get injured. So Luke Shaw it's a constant injury, and I feel bad for him. He wasn't ready to play the match, and who knows? Ten Hag might just throw him next weekend against Fulham, right? But top four is on. I'm not, you know what? This is funny because last year, I think Zeke, because Zeke follows me. Zeke has knows on my Twitter. Last year, I was like anti top four. I was like, we're gonna bottle it, and we were comfortable last year. This year, we'd look so much far worse than last year. But yeah, I have more confidence. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Top four is on. Hojlund, what a player. He's not showing why we signed him. Vamos, come on, what a win. 3 points. Collectors, hold tight to 3-point collectors, as FCM says. GGMUFC. Let's be honest, our issues are not difficult to fix. New manager and 4 new players, we make everything so difficult. Yeah, I mean, that's very true, to be fair. But back to the lineup, obviously, like I said, Luke Shaw, everything else was standard. And yeah, the first 10 minutes, right away we scored with, I think in the first 2 minutes, Hojlund capitalized off a loose second ball. Luton center back, I think Osho took a loose touch. Hojlund capitalized on it, went around the keeper, slotted it home. Nice to see Hojlund have that kind of in his bag to be able to go around the keeper. I said it's a lost art in football. Obviously, you don't really see it as much anymore. A lot of players just take first-time shots. And we saw Garnacho try to do later in the match. He needs to stay away from that. That might not be in his bag, but just first-time finishing for him. But Hojlund rounded it easily. Just a good finish, good anticipation, good pressing. That's what Hojlund is, right? He just capitalizes on opponents' mistakes. The instincts are there, and the confidence is there. When he's confident, his instincts are top-notch, and this kid is going to be a special striker. He now holds the record for most consecutive games. He's the youngest player to score in 6 consecutive games in Premier League history. That's as impressive as you could get. And you know what? He might crack about maybe 14 league goals. Bro, after not scoring till December until Christmas, that's an incredible feat. Add the fact that he has 5 UCL goals, right? So let's say 14 and 5, that's 19. And then maybe a couple FA Cup goals. That's a 20-goal season in his first year at 20 years old for Man United. That's an incredible return. That's much more than anyone could have expected. So good for Hojlund. And then the second goal came off a Garnacho shot that was going wide, and Hojlund went like this. Remember, you guys know when Ronaldo does this, right? When he does that pass constantly, he used to always do it. Hojlund, for me, actually anticipated the shot going wide and adjusted his position and just chested it in. That's a class goal. That might be my favorite Hojlund goal because that's top striker instincts to know like the direction of the ball, where it's gonna go, the flight, all that kind of stuff. That's anticipation. That's IQ. That's what you want from top number nines. The likes of Van Persie would have adjusted their body to score that, right? That's a top number 9 goal. People in Zaghi obviously did that in the UCL final, right? Those kind of the poacher instincts. And that's what we've all wanted from Hojlund. We know he's quick. We know he's direct. We know he's kind of strong. The link play is still getting better. Obviously, I thought today was probably one of his weaker games link play wise, but the anticipation, the poacher instincts. Remove Casemiro and Bruno from the midfield along with Maguire and the other crap and replace midfielders with actual IQ and not just football. Yeah, we'll get onto the people that wear number 8 that have their jersey that has number 8 in their jersey because it's spooky season for certain players. But after going up 2-0, you're like, okay, it's comfortable. United look on the attack. Rashford had a shot that was saved to go up 3-0. And then all of a sudden, Luton got on the counter. A loose ball goes into the box. Onana flies out his area to punch it out, whatever he tried to do. He missed. Carlton Morris scored. 2-1. Here we go again. And after that, Luton Town just absolutely peppered us that whole first half. P&P, they cooked us, bro. Every single time they just dribbled past our players. Casemiro was sliding, missing tackles. If he connected on the tackle, it was a foul. Yellow card for him. Yellow card for Shaw because of Bonnie ran right past him. Yellow card for Maguire because he slid and he missed. Everyone else got a yellow card. I don't think Dallo got a red yellow card. I don't think Moran got a yellow card. But 3 yellow cards in the first half to 3 players that are pretty much in your defense, right? In your back 5, in a sense, back 6. If you want to count Casemiro. Casemiro probably could have gotten sent off because he miscontrolled the ball, lunged in, didn't connect. Referee didn't give him the second yellow, and that's why he got subbed off, right? Because Ten Hag couldn't trust him to stay on, and he really couldn't trust Maguire either. That's why those guys got subbed off. But they just peppered us, bro. They were going down the flanks constantly, and Ross Barkley was weaving through the players like nothing. Bruno Fernandes' physical levels were shocking in that first half, and then on the ball, this brother had no idea what to do. One day he got the ball on the left wing, he shot it over the bar. Other time he had a 3v1, he messed it up. Garnacho got a 3v1, he messed it up. It's just constant mistakes in that front 4, really, if you want to count Bruno. That's just constantly leaving up goals on the table. And that's why our goal difference is +1. Like defensively, we're poor, right? We give up so many shots, but offensively as well, we should be scoring about 4 or 5 goals a game with the opportunities that we get because this is a gung-ho system, right? Ten Hag is playing very vertical, so you're going to get opportunities when you play that vertical, right? You're going to keep playing balls down the flank. You're going to keep creating chances over the top. It's going to happen, especially someone like Luton who also play a very free-flowing system as well. They're not a type of team that just sits back, right? They will against like the likes of City and Arsenal because you have no choice. But against Man United, they're up for the athletic battle because they know they could defeat us in that battle. So they're like they can push up. But yeah, that first half was just atrocious, and we're lucky to go up 2-1 in that first half because other than the first 10 minutes, I thought Luton were the better team. Second half, I think we did a little bit of a better job kind of taking the sting out of the game. I think we limited Luton to lesser chances. They did get a couple chances in the last, let's say, 15 minutes of the game, but otherwise, I thought we did much better. Lindelof came on for Shaw. He did okay for Lindelof standards. I thought Evans was class coming on from Maguire. I thought he was really good in his proactiveness. I even saw him at left wing at some point. But he did good. Good in aerial duels, cleared the ball when he needed to. So he did a decent job. I thought Dallo did a decent job. I thought some of his passes were very short today, but nonetheless, he did a decent job in terms of just passing it, keeping it tidy. Did good defending, back post, all that kind of stuff. Couple good clearances. He had one chance where in the second half where he made that darting run from right back, ended up all the way on the left. It was onside. The ball over the top landed to him. He had the keeper 1v1. He tried around him. I think he went a little bit too inside to the keeper, and Kaminsky was able to collect it. And I got to big up Kaminsky, the Luton keeper. That's a proper lower table keeper. He's an incredible shot stopper. Hojlund could have had a hat trick, but Kaminsky saved it with like his shoulder. Good shot stopper. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's second in XG prevented in the league. I think Onana's actually first, funnily enough. But that's a proper lower table keeper, and probably Ross Barkley is obviously the reason why Luton are doing this good. But I think Kaminsky deserves his shouts. But back to United, the second half, Bruno got a lot more opportunities in the final third. He fluffed pretty much all of them. Garnacho cannot score that 1v1 after a beautiful pass by Rashford. He laid it to him on a plate. That was free dinner. It was really free dinner, bro. Buffet style. He tried to round him, took the touch too wide. Cut back, shot it, got blocked, and the opportunity was gone. You got to be clinical in that situation. And that's my issue with Garnacho. He's so frustrating in the final third. My other frustration is Casemiro actually yelled at him about it. He keeps cutting inside too much. It's okay to carry the ball inside at times, right? Like because you can open up the switch to the left hand side. But when you're passing it, but when you're not switching it to the left side and you're letting the short passes inside, and your midfielders are not the world best midfielders other than Kobe Mainoo, right? Laying a short to Casemiro, you're expecting Casemiro to have a perfect touch and be able to release it on time while getting pressed. You got to know your teammates. You got to know your teammates' strengths, and you got to know your teammates' weaknesses. That's part of being of a team. And Garnacho, when he's cutting inside and passing it to Casemiro on multiple occasions in the midfield when he's getting pressed, you're setting up Casemiro for failure, and you're setting up the whole team for failure. Should Casemiro be taking better touches and getting the ball out quicker? Absolutely. But Garnacho, you got to know. You got to know what's around. You got to have the awareness for that, right? That's my opinion on him. Then you have Kobe Mainoo, who I thought for me was excellent today. Kobe Mainoo and Hojlund were United's two best players, in my opinion, and Rafael Varane because he dealt with a lot today. Mainoo, every time he dribbles, he's getting past the opponent, no matter what. You cannot get the ball off of him. Absolutely incredible. The croquetas, the turns, everything about his dribbling game is absolutely incredible. And he played six the whole second half, did a decent job, got carded for a tackle that for me was clean. If you want to say he held him back a little bit, sure, but that's definitely not a yellow. At most, that's just a foul. So got wrongly carded. I guess maybe the referee just saw United kept lunging in for tackles, and at that point, he just gave up. He's like, every time you lunge in for a tackle like that, you're going to get a yellow, right? So I guess that's what kind of maybe the referee thought, but I thought Kobe Mainoo was absolutely incredible today. And he's just – the difference between him on the ball and the rest of his teammates, it's night and day. It's literally a 24-hour time zone difference. It's one's so good and the other one are so bad. Like Casemiro, look about it. Casemiro is a 5-time UCL winner. 5-time. One of the greatest defensive midfielders the sport has ever seen, especially in the past generation. Real Madrid legend. Bruno Fernandes, our captain. The Portuguese Magnifico, as they say. Yet an 18-year-old kid is the most mature player on that pitch. Forget not just the midfielders. The forwards, he's better on the ball than them. The defenders, he's better on the ball. The only one that can chat to him is obviously Luke Shaw, who I think on the ball is class. But they're very different players on the top of the ball. Luke Shaw's always like the first touch, lift, stuff like that. He kept doing that a lot of times today. But Kobe Mainoo, he just got on the ball, dribbled between two players, no issue for him. Just absolutely world-class talent right there. And rivals are clocking onto it because a lot of people are saying he needs to start for England. I said this from the time ago. I said this from October. Kobe, Rice, Jude. There's your midfield, England. Go win the Euros. That's perfect. That's how good Kobe Mainoo is, man. Just an amazing talent, and his class just keeps on shining and shining. And you know what? The fact that his midfield partners are so bad makes his talent even more on showcase. He's showcasing the talent much, much more, and we're seeing an amazing player. Like I said, I'm not going to keep waxing lyrical about it. I'm just build a midfield around him, and you can go from there. It's not very hard, but they got my dog JJ in the building. Anything else? I thought Rashford was frustrating today. I'm not gonna lie. Had a couple good chances though. The pass he should have had an assist. Garnacho should be scoring that. What else? Had a couple good shots with the left foot today. Good saves by Kaminsky. Had a couple good runs, but the 50-50s, he just kept losing them. The 1-2s weren't connecting. Should be doing better. Mine was on a different class. Him and Barkley put on a football list. Bro. I tweeted it yesterday. I'm like, you guys know the WWE promo, like when it was The Rock versus John Cena, once in a lifetime. I tweeted that yesterday. I tweeted that clip. I'm like, Mainoo versus Barkley, man. You ain't gonna get midfield battles like that very often. Amazing football on display. As for Ross Barkley, I thought he was really good in the first half. You could tell he kind of got gassed out because the game was at 100 miles per hour the whole time. eventually he got gassed out. He's not like he's a little bit on the older side of things, right? So he did run out of gas eventually, but he put on display. He even got minor a couple times. But what we saying, Griggs? 14 goals in the league for him at the end of the season. What are we at now? 7? I think we get 14. We got what? 13 games left. 7 and 13. We could do that. We could do that. A couple more braces. We got Sheffield still on the schedule. We got Fulham on the schedule. We could back a couple of braces against those teams. Nah, bro. Say less, bro. We got this. We got this. 14 league goals, bro. That's a fantastic return for a 20-year-old. Nah, you know what? That's not bad. 15. If we can hit 15, that's even better. It makes it sound a little bit better, right? 15, even though it's just one more. 15 just ends in a 5 or a 0. Just sounds better. But yeah, Hojlund is just incredible. But yeah, anyone else's performance? Garnacho, I talked about frustrating. Midfielders, I talked about. One of Hojlund's. See, I disagree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the passes he kept laying them off too short. They were very easy to intercept. He just wasn't putting the right way to pass. He did have a couple where they looked good. He had one flick to Bruno where Bruno was through 1v1 and Bruno athleticism let him short. United can't make 5 successive passes in the morning half. We can't make 3, let alone 5. Let's not get too greedy, you know. Let's not ask for 3 at this point before we get to 5. Let's not ask for too much, but yeah, Erik ten Hag though. The substitutions, Amrabat came on. Good to see him. Tweeted like 20 minutes before he came on that it's time to go back to Florence because the man wasn't gonna see the pitch. Defensive sub though, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Garnacho should have gotten hooked a little bit earlier. I think the ball stuck to him. Yeah, I agree with that part. The ball did stick to him, but it's just the passes were short. Yeah. He's a direct player, and the space is over. He has so much. When he drops deep, there's so much space open behind him that he loves the through pass. Feels like the manager. I said that. I said this manager is enabling this vertical play, bro. And the fact is, it's terrible because Bruno and Casemiro love playing vertically, but playing this vertical enables them to go into their mode where they like kick it deep. Because Bruno last year, whether you love Bruno or not, he was much more composed last year. He was much more disciplined. That went away in a span of 6 months because because this year he wanted to play more direct. And this is the response. This is the consequence of wanting to play this direct. And this is not sustainable. I get like maybe Ten Hag could be a good coach or somewhere else, but bro, if you do not have elite level athletes and elite level decision makers, just elite level IQ players, you cannot play this style of football. It's too chaotic for the Premier League. This is Bundesliga style of football, and I hate Bundesliga style of football. And the Premier League is even turning into the Bundesliga. We're averaging about 4 goals per game for the whole league, the whole season. Bro, that's crazy. Greg, the PSG managed to hopefully buy Rashford. Who should be his replacement? Well, Matistel I'm looking at now. Leao is like the obvious, like in terms of like profile per profile, but that's 170 M's. Maybe try to sneak Rodrigo away from Real Madrid, but I doubt it. That's going to be M's as well. I've always said this. It's very hard for me to think about who could replace Rashford. I mean, you could always go Nico Williams on the left and then go get Nico Williams and Pedro Neto and like go left wing, right wing, right? Yeah, Antonio Nusa. Yeah, obviously you have like Matoma. It's very hard for me to think about who to like do it with, right? Rasmus needs to go down more when those Kane fouls is gonna get. Yeah. He went back into wrestling mode today. His jersey was so dirty today. You could tell the mud was all over the jersey, white jersey as well. But back to Ten Hag, it's just the style of football it's not sustainable. First of all, it's not sustainable. Second of all, it is a chore to watch because I can never feel comfortable. I really can't feel comfortable watching this football. Like it's against the likes of Villa, you're like, okay, it's a top team. You're away from home at Villa Park. You're gonna get the other team's gonna get chances, but against what's it called, Luton, bro, some semblance of control. What about Kvaratskhelia? I don't think Kvaratskhelia has the athleticism to play in the Premier League. I mean, I think he could thrive in the Premier League, but I think athletically, I think he's too limited. Ten Hag tactics and coaching of players is shocking. Yes, finito, bro. Obviously, the Orsi report this morning is not very bright in terms of Ineos believe in Ten Hag. Sir, that Bresman, bro, you're at the games, man. I know you're not really like a football guy. You were more like in the cycling side of things, but please, man. Please, bro. You got to be watching that and thinking it's not good enough. But it's just obvious. Like the players that need to be sold, Also, how come we can't get Sensu? I'm not monetized yet. That's the only reason why. I appreciate the thought that you'd want to send super chat. I really do appreciate that, but unfortunately, we're not monetized yet. Most of it's my fault. I haven't been consistent enough until now. The watch hours aren't up there, and I think we're about 140 subs away from being 500, which I think is the monetized like benchmark in terms of subs, and then obviously the watch time. So that's why I keep doing lives now instead of pre-records to get the watch time up. So yeah, so it's a process. I don't like the word process, but in terms of this, it's a process. Hopefully, it's just a quick process, unlike Man United, which is just a slow, miserable process. Appreciate it. Definitely will try to be consistent. Hojlund should have backed four. Sounds like Omar Barada and Wilcox got along with the board will make the decisions. No way they see this crap and think it's good enough. Hassam, you're a fraud. Ornstein is obviously not going to come out and say Ineos don't want him. That's true. I mean, obviously to report at the end of the day, but no one knows what's going through Ineos' mind. I've always said I don't think Ten Hag has had that combo with them yet, where it's like he's really pitching their plan. And I think when that time comes, that's where Ten Hag will feel, because I don't think he gets his point across very well. He's not really a people's person, and like I've always said, this it's different when you're pitching your plan to the Glazers and John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold, which aren't like really the best of the best in their profession. It's a different thing when you're going to go to Omar Barada, who has worked with Pep Guardiola for over a decade, who's been at Manchester City. It's a different thing when you're working with Wilcox, right? Who's one of the best young recruiters in football in the Premier League. Another thing where you're going to be pitching to Dan Ashworth, who was part of England football development, Brighton, all that kind of stuff. These are football men that know data and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a whole different scenario, right, when he's pitching it. And I've always said this. Ten Hag, when he got the United job, he interviewed United. They had to convince him to come. Now it's like, now you're fighting for your job. Now it's time for you to actually, they're doing the interview to you now. You have to convince them, not us convince you. So the tables have flipped. Let's see if he can handle that. I personally don't think, but you never know, man. Maybe he puts together the best PowerPoint presentation we've ever seen. Who knows? Maybe. But Greg Zay. But yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else to talk about in the game. Just like, I mean, looking forward to it. Obviously, we got Fulham, I believe, next week. Then we have the cup match. Then we have City. Then we have Sheffield, I think. But yeah, I've always said this. We have to go and beat into that City game. We'll see what happens at City. I don't think we'll win. Obviously, I'm sure Sam wants us United to win against City. But Etihad away is spooky. Obviously, City haven't looked good against tops of the Big Six, but we're their only win. But when you look at that lineup that we played in that game, it makes sense why we got slapped, right? Tuchel about to get sacked. Fabric, I expected it, but I've told people about Thomas Tuchel. I've said this. I think he's Washington manager in terms of Thomas Tuchel. When you think about Thomas Tuchel at his best shots, like you think about Dortmund, he had Ousmane Dembele, who was one of the best wingers in the world at that point. Young talent, amazing, 2-footed, everything. Marco Reus, America Aubameyang, electrifying attack. PSG, you have two generational talents, and Mbappe and Neymar. You don't have to coach an attack, right? You just got to coach midfield defense. Chelsea was able to coach the defense, got a UCL, but the attack stunk. And it's just the man management's not there. I just think for me, Thomas Tuchel should never be an option. I hope he's never an option for Man United, because if we hire Thomas Tuchel, spooky hours for us. Tuchel back to Chelsea, he's 50-50 at this point. I don't think he'll definitely not go back. Cowboy doesn't like him. I talked about Sean to the same. I said Ten Hag overplayed him, and now he's injured again. New test, new injury, yada yada yada. I expect. But with Shaw, like, first of all, I never expect Shaw to see a full season healthy to begin with. At best, I can really hope for 30 games in the league, 25 to 30. At most, you could hope for. But Ten Hag has not helped the injury crisis with Shaw by playing him this much. And he clearly, if he wasn't 100% fit today, obviously the player's gonna want to play, especially when you think about the discussion surrounding Shaw in the media and stuff like that. But it's just, for me, it's manager negligence when you play a player this injury prone that much. It's gonna happen. And Garnacho, for me, it might be the next up, because for me, Garnacho's being overplayed. The dude has played 90 minutes, like 20 games in a row. He's 19. His body's not built for this. It's not like Garnacho's some elite athlete that's like Aki and just like elite, like just muscled up and stuff like that. Like he's a very fragile player. Bayern better not take the Stuttgart manager. I think they're gonna go interim for the rest of the year, and then they're gonna try to go for Alonso. I don't know what's gonna happen with Bayern. Maybe they go. Maybe they go to Nagelsmann and beg him to come back. Maybe Hansi Flick comes in and does crisis aversion or something like that. Do you not think we should go for De Jong so that we don't run into the ground? I just don't want De Jong, bro. When you look at today's game, right? You can see why we need De Jong, but you can also see why we don't need De Jong. Because look at the athleticism on that pitch. We look so athletically deficient to Luton. De Jong's not fixing that. So I just don't think De Jong is the right fit for me. I think Fofana would definitely be a good player to bring in. But I don't like how Mainu is starting too many games right now. I think the issue is not Mainu starting. It's really the fact that he constantly plays on 90. It'd be nice, like, remember against West Ham when we subbed him off 70th minute. I think that's perfect. Like, that's like go up 2-0, something all chill out. That's perfect for Mainu right now, in my opinion. I think he should be starting games, but just not finishing all of them. De Jong is very athletic. He's an athlete, but like in terms of like pace and power and stuff like that, he's not strong. He's not really that quick. He's definitely not defensively aware. So if he was defensively aware, then that's fine. That can make up for the lack of athleticism, but he just lets runners go right past him. And he's not catching up. Would you want Bagels man at Man United? Yes and no. I'd rate Nagelsmann. I think he's too versatile for his own good. He tries to switch too many things up. But I think he's a good manager. I definitely think he's definitely be on the list for me. But I think with Nagelsmann, it's that kind of thing where you're like, you might get beat you might get slapped up a couple times. His football is very dangerous. De Jong seems athletic, but not that dude gets bro. Yo, Ross Barkley's cooking him. Yeah, he's getting cooked. Yeah, bro. Getting bullied by Pelestri is crazy. Let's probably get Fofana next to him. We need both. I mean, you can just go for like a deep blank playmaker that's like just less expensive. Because if you buy De Jong, like you're starting him, it's not really rotation. Like with Mainu, Mainu needs to start. Like Mainu cannot be a bench player at Man United. He's a starter. He's the first name on the team sheet. It's just about getting into other midfielders that first of all balance him out, and second of all that can come in during like cup matches and Mainu rest and stuff like that, or a league game before a UCL match you rest Mainu. That kind of stuff. Mainu should not be treated as some regular academy product that comes in then and there. He is a starter. He is that first name on the team sheet. He needs to be treated as such. I know people say no youngster really deserves that kind of thing, but I'm not trying to do a Phil Foden with Mainu. I'm really not. That Fred pressed the shit out of him the second half last year. He got cooked. He's 18, but guess what? He's the best player on the team, and he deserves to start. People need to realize 18. There's certain 18-year-olds that are just different. That are just that there's different class when it comes to them being 18. Like Mbappe, I mean, obviously I don't think Mainu is at Mbappe level, but Mbappe at 18 was not getting benched. He was starting every game, pretty much. Like there's different class. You see the way Pedri, they overplayed him, but he deserves to start most games. Mainu should be starting about 85 to 90% of Premier League games for Man United. And with only one game a week this year, but for the rest of the season, I just think try to keep it to 70, 80 minutes a game. And if it's a really close game, then you keep him on for 90. Garnacho needs ball striking, better dribbling, and strength to have world class. I mean, Garnacho doesn't have world class potential. Let's just keep it a stack. Just doesn't have world class potential. Like it's nothing major. All right, well, Cockroach. Yeah, there you go. That's better. That's better. There you go. We come to an agreement with that. I think Cockroach, we need to get him out of Lyon. I think it'll be cheap too. 25 mil for Fofana. Fofana, Cockroach, 75 mil, 2 midfielders. Bang bang. Finito, papa. That's pretty much it. Trying to think anything else. Trying to think. That's pretty much it, right? We've covered every player. We've covered Ten Hag. Coming up, just win until the City game, and we go from there. I don't know who Spurs have next. Let me check their schedule. Oh, they don't have a game next week because Chelsea are in the cup final. So there's that. So we could technically go level on points with Spurs next week, but they all have a game in hand, which is Palace at home. Well, which is Chelsea away, could be a tough game to be fair. So, and man, you never know. So Ericsson, get me to on their profile. Niche connection. Have to wonder what Ahmad isn't doing. Maybe doesn't have enough muscles. Well, 10 don't rate non-athletic people. We just got to keep it 100. He loves athleticism. The guy's an athletic fiend. He really is. Garnacho reminds me of young Alexis. And man, if he could end up being like Alexis Sanchez, it's fine by me. But I just don't see it. Spurs. They had Chelsea, but that got canceled obviously because Chelsea have Carabao Cup. Thoughts on Dallas performance? I kind of summed up Dallas. I thought Dallas had a mid game. Not to the standard that we've seen in the past couple weeks, past couple months, but had some good moments. Could have maybe had a goal or assist if you got past that keeper. Good defensively for the most part. How do you rate Fletcher and play Lindelof? Because he's no one else. No one else can play left back. If Malacia was fit, Lindelof wouldn't be seeing the pitch. But what's it called? I'm trying to think. Dalo. I just thought some of the passes were short today. Didn't really get a cross in. Kind of the final third play was a little bit meh for me with Dalo. But first two phases just comfortable as usual. That's standard business for Dalo. But yeah, 3 points off fourth. Oh no, my bad. 3 points off fifth. Villa won on the weekend. They had Fulham. What do Villa have next? It's also another good question. They have Forest at home. That could be a tricky game. Forest aren't that good away from home though, but Awanigi, Alanga against the high line. Hey man, Nottingham Forest got a plan for us. But yeah, we just gotta handle business. That Luton left back doubt is these. Yeah, he had a couple of crosses on him. Really good attacking left back. It's a shame. It's actually really good because he also kept Ryan Giles out of a spot. The kid from Middlesbrough last year. He's on loan at Hull now. Good left back there too. So yeah, the Luton have a good squad, man. They understood the assignment when you get promoted to the Premier League. Get a bunch of athletes, play physical football, be really good on the counterattack, and you'll get points. Ross Barkley, Chong, Menji, Osho, Ogbene is electric. Adebayo, obviously, he missed out because of injury. But Carlton Morris is a good player, bro. They got a bunch of good players, man. Kabore, Kaminsky, like I said, shot stopper. It's crazy. How much do you think we can get for Sancho? Well, after seeing his Bundesliga performances, I'm not getting my 40 M's, that's for sure. I'm about to settle for 30. Or I think he's going on loan again next year. I don't think anyone's going to buy him with those wages. Lewin have some dual winners in PNP, but nothing in the final 30. Honestly, no Adebayo hurt them today. But 35 mil for Sancho, that's good business for me. That's good business for me. But yeah, we got about half hour. Gonna do another video during the week. You guys know. Talk about more. Obviously, there's probably gonna be more news that come out. We're Man United, we're News FC. But yeah, coming up, obviously, videos during the week. Obviously, more stuff like that. Maybe manager talk. Maybe DOF talk. We'll see what happens. You can catch me on Trafford Tunnel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. Me and Ty from Never Fall will be live in about an hour. I think somewhere around there. 3 something. A-listers, probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm just waiting for the message from Sam. Top row again. I'm blessed. Undefeated 2024. Guys know the vibes. Staffies during the week. Staffy times Grace, our weekly show. You guys know about that. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I think me and CK might be doing a video on his channel, State of Footy. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. Show the same love that you showed to me to him. That's my boy. That's my dog. And yeah, I'm also gonna be really starting on my TikTok. It's Griggs Talks. It's the same as the YouTube. Let me know in the comments. Tweet at me. My Twitter's right there. I'm Michael_Griggs26. Let me know what kind of TikToks you guys want to see. What sport I'm gonna be doing. This channel, the YouTube is gonna be mainly basketball and footy, but the TikTok I'll open up to different sports. And I've kind of got better at editing a little bit. I've had CK and Omar help me with the editing, kind of what stuff to add, when to add it. So I'm gonna start doing the TikTok. So let me know what you guys want me to talk about on the TikToks. 1 minute clips. Keep it short, simple. Bring me Gusto. That's my dog. I almost cried on YouTube when Chelsea signed him. That was very depressing. Very, very, very depressing. That was a sad day. Very sad day. A piece of me died that day, man, when we didn't sign Malo Gusto. Because I could be having Gusto Dallo left back, like you said. Gusto Dallo a fullback pairing. Shaw Gusto. Life could be good, but unfortunately, it does not work that way because Todd Bowley just wants to sign every youngster. He even got linked with Matt Testell today. I'm telling you, bro. There's no point in getting goals. Sometimes there's no point in going for under 21s because Todd Bowley's just lurking around like the Grim Reaper, bro. He's got the microscope, he's got the goggles on, bro. He's like this. Tell us, he's like, I see you. That's what he does, bro. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys want to see on the TikTok. Gonna be starting up this week. Got the ring light and everything set up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate for everyone that joined. Break Brainfully Memento, Dan Ashworth got a plan for me. Surgeon got a plan for me. I really hope he does because I need it, bro. I need a plan because my Knicks are low-key dwindling right now. So it might be fiends up for basketball. So footy. My teams are never good at the same time. So one of them's got to be good. But yeah, I never really said like, share, subscribe. So I hope you guys liked. I hope we hit at least 10 likes today. And yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I don't know if we got any new subscribers. I haven't really checked, but we're closing in on 400. Like I said, 500 is the mark by what's today? 18th. Once Easter, late March. Let's go by Easter. We hit 500. Make sure, don't disrespect my basketball team, please. Right? All right. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We don't disrespect basketball teams. Let's relax. Okay. There you go. Joking, but yeah, it's All-Star break for basketball, so there's really no basketball content to do. But yeah, like I said, 500 subs is the goal by Easter. Let's keep it. Let's do 400 by early March, and then we go from there and stuff like that. Football is gonna be kicking in more. UCL next month is international break. Greece play playoff qualifiers for the Euros. I will be doing a watch along for that. You guys can actually see how I feel, how I react when I'm watching my country. If you think I'm passionate about United, my passion for Greece is unmatched. I'm a very nationalistic person. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Make sure you guys tune into Trafford Tunnel in an hour, I believe. Let me go check if Tyler has already put the link on. Yeah, 3 p.m. So 45 minutes. Make sure you guys tune in for that on there. Make sure you subscribe to them as well. Ty's my boy. He's the first ever guest on this channel, so always got your support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Anyone that's watching on the replay, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate all the support. We've had a really good couple weeks since February started. Just gonna keep on going. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.